Agenda. I have coffee in hand because we are headed right out the door. It's cold and rainy, so we're wearing the trench coat, but I wanted to take you to one estate sale this morning. I had my eye on a carnival glass bowl that I saw in the photos, so we're gonna go see if we can grab it, if the price is good. And then I want to bring you back here so I can do a small haul of some of my favorite items I have picked up. I have some wonderful antiques that I'd love to show you, and we'll do a little styling, some decorating with them. So we gotta get going. Let's head over to the estate sale together. Okay, we're on our way, leaving my neighborhood, and oh, whoops, seatbelt, Heather. Fingers crossed that bowl is a good price. It's a pretty dark carnival glass. But first I have to get my butt to the estate sale. We have 20 minutes until the sale starts. We gotta get a move on. Okay, you guys, I am late to the game. The estate sale has already opened, so you know what they say, early bird gets the worm, and I'm not sure I'm gonna get my worm, but we're headed inside to see if it's still in here. For me, but those are really beautiful, those blue glass salt and peppers. These are pretty too. Ooh, what do we got right here? As is. Oh no, she must be damaged. Oh, I see it. It's in the base. Okay. Ooh, we got some fun orange measuring cups. These are, no, you're fine. These are probably Tupperware. Those are cute. Let's go down to the basement. Buddy. Ooh. Ooh, look at this. It's $100. But I like them. Look at the moth. This is tempting me. Very piratey. Well, these menu books are so cool, but I don't think I'm in at $25 each. But the covers on them are just beautiful. Those are fantastic. And there's a beautiful milk glass dish, probably with, is that supposed to be Jenny Lind? It's $20. And is that damage? Is that, yep, that's big old damage. And they still want 20? At an estate sale? I love the marble lamp. That's a great price. $35 for this? That's a beautiful marble lamp. Well, it was getting a little crowded in those tiny rooms, but I got some things. You didn't get to see me find this, but my grandmother used to have one of these little marble mini bird baths. And so I grabbed that. That was $8. I'll show you the rest of the little haul, but I got the carnival dish, so huzzah! The trip was a success. All right, we are back home here on the living room floor, my usual spot, to do a haul with all of you. And the trip was a success. I grabbed the little carnival glass dish. No one had picked it up. So this is a darker colorway. I wanted it for Halloween. I did grab a vase recently in the same colorway, and I just thought it'd be a fun, darker, more gothic piece of glass decor to put around during that time of year. And this is a beautiful cherry pattern. I do think it's antique, made by Fenton. And carnival glass always has a base color with the beautiful rainbow finish over the top of it. And word on the street is that the cobalt blue glass is going to be becoming more rare and collectible because the minerals they use to create that cobalt color, I guess, are depleting. So that might be something to think about when you're out and about if you see pieces of cobalt blue glass or carnival glass with a cobalt blue base. So I was so happy to pick this up. And of course, I grabbed some other items. This was in the bathroom. I'm so glad I popped into the bathroom right before I checked out, because this is very nostalgic for me. My grandmother had one just like this. These were popular in the mid-century, but I don't come across them a whole lot. So happy to grab this, and it was only $8. Wonderful price for this size. I did pick up a piece of Flow Blue. The plate is pretty damaged on the back. There's a few spots, but from the front, it's still a pretty piece. And this is not something I plan on displaying. I'm just going to put it with my other Flow Blue in the hutch, just as a little collection. I am starting to do a little blue and white table setting when the opportunity arises. And the last find at the house today was this teeny tiny crescent moon antique brooch. It has a C clasp, it has beautiful rhinestones throughout, and it's a teeny tiny treasure that will join my other crescent moon jewelry. I have a little collection along with a lot of my vintage friends out there. Crescent moons are very popular with a lot of us, and I was happy to pick up this sweet little brooch. All right, now it's time to share some of the treasures I have picked up from estate sales the past week. And instead of doing an entire haul, I am going to share some of my favorites, items that will either be joining collections or that I just want to use in my home decor. Now, a lot of you know, I love the English cottage, English Tudor style. I love traditional, I love Victorian, and I also love kind of the shabby chic French brocante look as well. So my house is a bit of a mashup of all of those styles, and these items are going to fit in all of those categories. Okay, let's start with photography. I found this antique photograph of a little boy and two little girls. And what was perfect for me to want this photograph was not only did it feature an antique toy, but the girls were holding little white parasols. So this photograph is going to fit in perfectly with my dolls and toys. And I'm going to show you exactly how I plan on displaying this little piece. I have a sweater clip that's going to be perfect to use as a little hanging chain, and I plan on draping it over the parasol that I picked up in my last video. I think I popped it up right in front of the car. So that's my plan for this beautiful photograph. I think the parasols just make it the right spot for me to hang it on that pretty little lace parasol that I picked up at the estate sale. I'm going to pop it right into the crib with all of my dolls. The next two items are also in the category of photography. These are daguerreotypes. They are little portraits from the Victorian era. The first one is of a gentleman, and the second one is of a little girl. The thing I loved about the portrait of the gentleman was, look at its case, the dog design. It is in a relief. You can see how wonderful the design pops on this case. And then this one is a little more subtle. This one is embossed leather, but you can see the difference between a relief design and then an embossed design. So this one I'm going to keep. I have another larger daguerreotype right up here in my Art Nouveau silver bowl, and I think this will join it. And of course, if someone wanted to pick it up, they can discover the portrait inside. I think the destiny for the small one is going to be listed on Etsy. So that's my plan for these, but really happy to pick up those little treasures. Wonderful, wonderful pieces of history. Okay, more Victorian items, starting with this awesome hat. It's fantastic. It's a little small for me, but I could wear it at an angle. I was thinking I could add a little ribbon to it and have it tied under my chin. For display, I have a hat stand that I picked up in Elkhorn with Catherine Young, and I think this is the perfect hat to use for that hat stand, so that's how I plan on displaying this little beauty. I think of all of the calls that were paid wearing this hat and chores that were done walking down Victorian streets. So this will go in my studio next to my other black hat. And I also picked up another piece of fashion, this cape, which is made out of little balls of fur. I'm not sure if this is mink, rabbit, I don't know. And so this, of course, has to go on a mannequin, or it could be draped over a chair, but this will probably go onto my mannequin. I have a lot of furs on there, so I think I'll have to trade off. Or maybe I'll just wear it. What do you think, guys? You know I've been wanting to add fashion. Should I just wear this? Can you see? This is pretty great. I have another piece of Victorian fashion. In this case, it's a parasol, and it's a teeny tiny parasol. Now, whether this was for a child or if this was a fancy doll accessory, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's an awfully small size, but it could have been for a small 2 or 3-year-old child. And it is in poor condition, but if I gently pop it out, you're gonna see that it has amazing embroidery on it. Look at the rainbow colored thread. So much handiwork, just amazing. Of course, it has all of these holes as well. So what to do in a case like that? Well, I say work with it, and I will display it during Halloween out. But for the rest of the year, I think I will keep it closed and put it with my dolls. But it's an amazing little parasol. From the brass tip at the end to the bent wood handle, I think it's just darling. So even though the condition wasn't the best, I still wanted to grab it, and we'll hang it off of the crib until Halloween time. Now, this was a fun find for me as well. It is a magnifying glass. It has some reverse painting on it. I think this could be anywhere from turn of the century into the 20s. The star shape is really what grabbed me, or I guess you could also think of it as a sun, but I look at it as a star. And this is a perfect item to display something small that has a lot of detail that I would like to magnify. I'm thinking of choosing one of my check glass buttons to put under it. I think that would be just right because it's small, it has beautiful details, and that would be a fun thing to showcase under this glass. I'm really excited to display with this one. It's antique, has a wonderful design. So another really interesting, beautiful treasure that I'm excited to put in my home decor. I also picked up some inkwells. Now I think of inkwells as art objects. I could always put a pen or a feather in it, but I think I am going to leave these just as they are and put them in a grouping with my bottle that looks kind of like an inkwell, but it's very, very big for its purpose to be holding ink. That's a lot of ink. So I think it's a bottle, but it works. I also picked up another vanity mirror, which I don't need any more of these, but I kind of feel like you can never have enough. They're so useful in displays. And this one is mid-century with little cherubs holding it up. So it's kind of in a raised position. And I was thinking this would be a really nice pedestal at Christmas time for one of my smaller Christmas trees. So that was my thought on this one. If I can pull out a Christmas tree, I'll go ahead and film it so you can see it styled now. I think you have a good imagination and can see the vision of a really pretty Christmas tree on this base. The next things I wanted to share with all of you were these beautiful antique lace collars. I picked up 3 of them. 2 of them are on netting, and I absolutely think each one is very special. So the question is how to style an antique lace collar. A beautiful way to display it would just be in a shadow box, I think, hanging on the wall just for the works of art that they are themselves. But if you don't have a shadow box, in a way I think of them as little tiny draperies. So you can drape it over a mirror, you can drape it over a picture frame, you can put one over a dresser mirror. So that's what I think I'm going to do with one of them. The smallest one I want to use as a little shawl over one of my antique China head dolls. She is very old and she has had a repair. So I think I will use the smallest little lace collar and drape it over her. So a few ways that I plan on using these in the house. And for the lace collar that doesn't get used, I will tuck it away until the appropriate moment. You can also use these as like little tree skirts around mini Christmas trees, things like that. If you ever come by a beautiful antique lace collar, I say grab it, and the right situation will come along where you can use it and display it. The next piece I want to style up in my home is this set of brass wall hooks, and the hooks kind of swivel. So I'm thinking of using this for my tapestry purses and getting them off of the mannequin. I'm gonna need to try it out and see if the way the hooks are staggered and the height difference, if the purses will be better displayed with an item like this. But if it doesn't work, I don't have any thoughts on this, so we'll see. If you guys see these hooks, then we'll know that the tapestry bags worked and I liked how it turned out. Okay, I saved the best for last. Now, I didn't get these at a screaming deal, you guys, but they were at an estate sale and I was able to get to them first. And so I grabbed them. 4 French beveled glass jewelry caskets. Until now, I have never had this style of antique casket before. So I have been wanting some and I decided to pull the trigger. So where to put them? Now, normally I would want to put these on a beautiful vanity mirror, but I don't have a whole lot of table space. I think I want to put them either in the bookcase or maybe even on the mantle. So that's going to be my spot for them, I think. Let's go take a look and see if it works. that's going to do it for my little show and tell today. What did you think of the treasures I shared and how I displayed with them in the house? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I want to thank all of you for coming back and watching my videos every week. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're all well. And until I see you in the next video, take care of yourselves. Happy thrifting, happy hunting, and bye for now.